Hi, I'm Elena Payton. I'm a board-certified naturopathic doctor, and if you've watched my glass theory video, you know my story, how I went from being allergic to 69 out of 72 things, unable to drive, told I had early onset dementia at 39, to thriving today. But what I didn't tell you in that video was the pivotal moment that changed everything. The moment when I discovered what was actually missing from my healing journey and from almost everybody else's healing journey. It was in 2020. I had been working with some really good functional medicine doctors, like really good, for years, a couple of years. Well, no, for years. We'd done all the testing, we tried all the protocols. I was doing better than I had been, but I was still just surviving. Everything had to be perfect. The perfect diet, the perfect supplements, the perfect sleep, the perfect stress management. If one of those things was off, crash, done for. And one day my doctor said to me, Elena, I've done everything I can do for you physically. You need to work on stress. I remember looking at him so confused because in my mind, I wasn't stressed. I was a stay-at-home mom. I got to drive my kids to school. I got to volunteer at the church, at the junior league, my kids' school, etc. I was living what I thought was my best life. But then COVID hit and the world shut down. And something completely unexpected happened that changed everything I knew about healing. When COVID shut everything down, there was no more carpools to 3 different schools, no more volunteering everywhere, no more luncheons and events to show up for everybody else. And guess what? I felt so much better. There was this other level of healing that I didn't even know was possible, and nothing else had changed. And that's when I realized I was under a lot of stress, but it wasn't my perceived stress, not my conscious mind. My conscious mind didn't think I was stressed at all. It was my nervous system that was in overdrive. My body was experiencing stress, even though my mind thought everything was fine. And that's when everything clicked. That's when I understood that what my doctor had been trying to tell me and what he couldn't fully explain because the conventional model and even functional medicine doesn't fully understand this, I don't think. But your body can only heal as much as your nervous system will allow. And here's what most practitioners miss. And this one is huge. It's not just about calming your nervous system down with breathing exercises, meditation, grounding, which don't get me wrong, I love all of those and incorporate them into my daily life. But you have to actually rewire these subconscious patterns that keep you triggered in your nervous system back into keeping you triggered and your nervous system going back into survival mode. You have to break these loops that are running in the background that we're completely unaware of. Otherwise, you just get stuck, or you make progress and you go back. You make progress and you go back. This discovery alone, along with everything else I'd learned through my own healing journey, became what I now call the Clean Life Method. And today I want to share it with you. So what makes this method so different? Let me be really clear about something. The Clean Life Method isn't just another health protocol. It's not even a detox program or a supplement regimen. It is a complete methodology built on how the body actually heals, addressing body, mind, and spirit in the order that your body needs. But all 3 must be addressed. Must is being key. And to understand why this matters, I need to show you where conventional medicine falls or fails and functional medicine falls short and what's been missing all along. Okay, so let's look at conventional medicine. I am grateful for it. And don't get me wrong, if I get hit by a bus, take me to the emergency room, get me stitched up. I get sinus infections sometimes that go into my ear, and I delayed too long on natural healing. And because I've had so many ear infections and my hearing is already an issue since I was a little kid, I'll go get on antibiotics if I need them. I am grateful for conventional medicine. It holds its place. However, most doctors only look at the physical body and usually just at the symptoms. So you're tired, they give you a pill for energy. You're anxious, they give you a pill for anxiety. Digestive issues, oh, here's a pill for that too. That is symptom suppression. It's like putting a lid on your glass so that you can't see the water overflowing anymore. But the water's still there. Nothing is actually healing. Or putting a Band-Aid on the cut, but you haven't addressed that maybe there's still like glass in there and why it's not healing and it's still bleeding. You got to address the root of it. Okay, so functional medicine. Now, I will say functional medicine is better. At least they're looking for a root cause. They run comprehensive labs. They give you supplements. They give you protocols. They talk about gut health and hormones and inflammation. This is where I was. And it helped me go from dying to surviving. So for that, I will always be grateful. But here's what they miss. And this is what kept me stuck in survival mode. They jumped straight into supplements and protocols without addressing the foundations of health, without addressing the mind and the spirit. They tell you to work on stress without actually teaching you how or explaining what stress really is. They don't address the rewiring patterns. Now, I will say there's more awareness around this, but it's not fully addressed. So my approach, what's different? What I discovered through my own journey and now working with hundreds of clients is that there are 3 non-negotiable pieces that absolutely, without a doubt, must be addressed together. Body, mind, and spirit. Not 1, not 2. All 3 must be addressed. Body, mind, and spirit. And not only do they all 3 need to be addressed, but they have to be addressed in a specific order and in a specific pace that your nervous system can handle. If you try to do it all at once, for most people, their nervous system is going to freak out and just go, no. So you got to work on it where you are. So let me break this down. First, let's talk about the body pillar. This is more than just detoxing. Everyone wants to jump straight into detoxing these days. Let's kill parasites. Let's chelate heavy metals. Let's get the mold out. But if you don't have the foundations in place first, these protocols won't work and they certainly won't stick. Or worse, they make you feel terrible. There's an order that actually works. Step 1, the foundations that everyone skips. Before you add more supplements or try one more protocol, you need the basics. Proper hydration and minerals, not just drinking water, but drinking the right kind of water at the right times. Supporting natural detox pathways. Are you actually eliminating properly every single day? And I'm talking about pooping. Yes. Are you having at least 1 bowel movement a day? Eating. Are you eating in a state that actually allows digestion? You can eat the cleanest food in the world, but if you're eating while stressed, your body can't digest it. Sleep that actually restores. Are you actually getting real restorative sleep? Not just getting in bed, but actually restorative sleep? Most people aren't. I wasn't. Basic movement and lymphatic flow. I'm not talking about hardcore exercise. That might be too much. Just getting the body moving. Is your body moving? Is your lymph moving and flowing? Daily body awareness and rhythms. This is so foundational that I created an entire program just for this. Renew Foundations. I'll put the link in the description. But because I created this because without these basics in place, the other stuff doesn't hold. My functional medicine doctor, he never addressed this with me. He touched on maybe a few things, but he went straight into supplements and protocols. Step 2, now this was huge. Opening drainage pathways. This is what almost everyone misses, even the really good practitioners. Before you detox anything, before you kill anything, kill parasites, pull out the mold, kill the bacteria, you absolutely must make sure that your drainage pathways are open. I'm talking about your colon, kidneys, liver, lymph. These have to be open so that things can come out. Because if you start stirring up toxins through detoxing without opening up these pathways, then there's nowhere for them to go. You're just recirculating them in your body. It makes you feel terrible. And so then guess what? You're herxing. And that's normal because sometimes people herx when they are detoxing. But really, you're just poisoning yourself because the doors aren't open. There's no way for this crap to get out. Okay, so number 3, addressing toxins and parasites together. Here's another thing that most practitioners get wrong. They either focus on the toxins or the parasites, but you have to address them both together. Here's why. Because parasites feed on the toxins in your system. If you just go kill the parasites, but you don't remove the toxins that the parasites are feeding on, then guess what? The parasites still have food to keep growing. And if you remove the toxins but don't address the parasites, the toxins stay in circulation because the parasites are holding on to them. This is why people stay stuck in loops. They're only addressing half the problem. So maybe you're doing detox after detox, but you haven't addressed the parasites. The toxins are circulating. So yes, you bring the toxic load down, but the parasites are high, so the toxic load comes down. The parasites are keeping them. So then your toxic load just comes back up and you're doing this. Or You haven't addressed the toxic load. You get the parasites down, but now there's a lot of food for them, so that the parasites come right back up, and you kill them and they come back up, and you're just doing this. You absolutely have to bring them down together in the right order, in the right way that the body can handle it, the nervous system can handle it. So for the body, foundations first, then drainage pathways, then systemic clearing of both toxins and parasites together in the right order at the pace your body can handle. But here's the thing. You can do all of that perfectly. And if you have not addressed the mind and the spirit, you're still going to stay stuck. Hello, this was me. Okay, so the mind pillar, beyond work on stress. This is the piece that changed everything for me. And it's the piece that most practitioners either ignore completely or address superficially. When a doctor told me work on stress, he meant meditate more, doing some breath work, and maybe see a therapist. Now, don't get me wrong. All of these things can be helpful, and they were helpful, but they weren't enough. Here's what I learned. Your nervous system determines everything. Your nervous system is the gatekeeper to all healing. When your nervous system is in survival mode, that fight, flight, or freeze, your body holds on to toxins to protect you. It doesn't matter what supplements or what protocols you're doing, or even if you've got the foundations, even if you've done the drainage pathways open, if you are addressing toxins and parasites together in the right order, if you're doing all these things right, but your nervous system is in fight, flight, or freeze, the body won't release. Your nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to release these toxins, because when you have them in your body, they're being stored. And when you release them, they have to come out of your body, recirculate to come out, and you can feel worse. And they are no longer safely hidden, even if they make you feel bad. They're like out in the open. And your nervous system is like, I can't handle anything else. Again, go listen to my video about the glass theory if you don't know what I'm talking about. So here's what's crucial to understand. Stress isn't about your perceived stress. It's not your perception. It's not your conscious mind. It's all about what your nervous system perceives. That's in the subconscious. My conscious mind, which is only about 5% of all brain activity, thought I was fine. I loved driving my kids around. I loved volunteering. I thought I was living my best life. Now, my nervous system, on the other hand, which is running in the background in our subconscious, which makes up about 95% of all brain activity that we are completely unaware of, I was running on empty. I was constantly in overdrive, and I was never truly resting. And this is why when COVID forced me to stop everything, I healed to another level that I didn't know possible without changing anything else. But regulation isn't enough, and this is where most people stop. They learn some nervous system regulation techniques, breathing, vagal toning, meditation, etc. And don't get me wrong, these are so important. I love them, and I teach them. But you also have to address the subconscious patterns that keep triggering your nervous system back into survival mode. You have to break these loops that are running in the background. Beliefs you absorbed in childhood, trauma your body stored but your mind forgot, patterns that made you feel safe once but now keep you stuck, emotions that got trapped in your tissue because you couldn't process them at the time. Maybe you didn't know how, or maybe it wasn't safe enough for you to process them. I use a modality called Mind, Body, Spirit Release, and I have a program, Renew, Reset, for those that really want to dive in with energy work and Mind, Body, Spirit Release to identify and release these patterns, break these loops. But there's so many other ways you can do it too. Trust me, I've tried all of them. I love them. My favorite is what I offer, and that's what's easier. But when I'm working with clients, sometimes I don't think I have all the answers. It will come up that I'm like, we've done some of this, but you need to try this, or you need to work with this person, or try this modality. Trust me, there's other ways to break this limbic system loop, to break these subconscious patterns. I don't care how you do it. Honestly, I'd love you to work with me, but if that doesn't resonate with you, I don't care. Do it. Break those patterns. The point is, you can't just regulate your nervous system in the moment. You have to rewire the patterns that keep dysregulating you. And this is why people can do all the meditation and all the breathing in the world, all of the ayahuasca ceremonies they want, etc. But they still stay stuck. They have to keep coming back because they're regulating the symptom without addressing the pattern that's creating it. So for the mind, nervous system regulation and subconscious pattern release, along with emotional mastery, only then can the body actually receive and use the physical healing that work that you're doing. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so number 3, the spirit pillar. the part nobody really talks about. And then this, I want to say this is huge. Oh, they're all huge, but this is a huge missing piece. This is the piece that gets completely ignored in conventional medicine, glossed over in functional medicine, and sometimes even bypassed in alternative healing. And I'm going to be really honest with you. This work that I'm doing, it's going against mainstream medicine. It's going against conventional thinking. It's even going against a lot of what functional medicine teaches. And this hasn't been easy. It has cost me my marriage. It has strained relationships with friends and family. People thought I was absolutely crazy when I was allergic to 69 things. I couldn't drive and doctors couldn't help me. But back in 2019, at my absolute lowest point, I made a covenant with God. I was lying in a hotel room bed, unable to open my eyes from pain. Everything in my body hurt. Opening my eyelids was so painful, but I could breathe and I focused only on my breath. And I said to God, if you let me keep breathing, I will figure this out. I will get on that computer. I'm a smart girl. I will figure this out. I will heal myself. I will heal my son, and I'm going to go back to school and heal other people. And that's exactly what I've done. That covenant with God is why I'm doing this work. It's why I'm here talking with you right now. And what I've learned is that spiritual alignment is not optional. Absolutely not. It's not just a nice to add on after you've healed physically. When you are disconnected from your purpose, when you are disconnected from your soul, when you are disconnected from your intuition, from your relationship with God or source or whatever you want to call that divine guidance, your body feels it. Your nervous system feels it. You stay in survival mode because you are not anchored to anything larger than the stress you're experiencing in this moment, in this life. But when you reconnect spiritually, when you align with your purpose, with your soul, you learn to trust your inner knowing, everything else becomes so much easier. And this is where muscle testing comes in for me. It's actually how I really reconnected with my own body's wisdom. It was my visual on my intuition. It's how I learned to trust myself again instead of outsourcing my power to practitioners who didn't have all the answers. Muscle testing became my direct line to divine wisdom. Not so that I need someone else to talk to about what's right for me, so that I could speak to my own body, my own soul. What do I need? So for spirit, reconnection to God, to purpose, to intuition, to yourself, learning to trust your inner knowing instead of constantly looking outside of yourself for answers, this is essential. And honestly, this is why I also teach muscle testing. I'll put that link, muscle testing simplified, in the comments below. I feel like this is something that absolutely everybody should know. It is a visual on our intuition. It is a visual on what our body already knows. It has all the answers for us. It doesn't mean we don't ever need to seek guidance elsewhere, but it has an innate wisdom to tell us where to go. Who do we need to talk to? Who should we trust? What do we need right now? I mean, it should be taught in kindergarten along with ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And I recognize that's taught before kindergarten, but whatever. That's what I tell the clients all the time. It is a huge passion of mine, but you have to reconnect with yourself. Non-negotiable. Really, all of this is non-negotiable. So why does order matter? Now, here's what's really important to understand. It's not just that you need to address body, mind, and spirit. It's that you need to address all of these in the right order, at the right pace, based on what your body needs. Some people need to start with the foundations. They just need to get the basics in place before anything else. Some people need to start with nervous system work because their system is so dysregulated that nothing else will work until this is addressed. And some people need to start with spiritual reconnection because they are so disconnected from themselves that they can't even hear what their body is trying to tell them or what their body needs. So that's why I created the Renew ecosystem with different entry points. I'll create another video that goes deeper into that, and I'll put a link below that connects you to my website. You can get an overview on it. But I created it because there is no one-size-fits-all path to healing. There's not just a standard generic protocol for everybody to run through. Regardless of where you start, eventually you have to address all three things: body, mind, and spirit. And I hope this video has helped you understand why that is so important. You can't work on one, you can't work on two, you absolutely must work on all three if you want to get to vibrant health, vibrant living, peace, love, happiness, joy, truly internally. It doesn't mean things won't come up and hiccup, but now you have the systems in place to address it. I can go on a whole nother tangent about that, but at the root, you have to address all three. And you have to do it in a way that respects your nervous system's capacity. You have to open your drainage pathways before detoxing. You have to address patterns alongside protocols. You have to build on solid foundations, and you have to reconnect with your inner wisdom. And this is what I call the clean life method. So my mission, I spent over $100,000 in so many years. I say 5 years, really it's been 10 plus years learning what works and what doesn't work. I went through the trials and the errors and the tribulations so that you don't have to. My mission is to help people, especially women who are functioning on the outside but struggling on the inside. Helping women achieve in 6 to 9 months, what took me years to discover, not by chasing symptoms, not by suppressing them with pills, not even by jumping straight into supplements and protocols like functional medicine does, but by addressing the foundational dysfunction in the body, the mind, and the spirit that manifest as all chronic health challenges or disease, rather dis-ease. Disease is dis-ease in the body, dis-ease in the mind, dis-ease in the spirit, disconnection. This is why I teach muscle testing, so you can become your own expert instead of depending on me or any other practitioner forever. This is why I work with the nervous system, because without that foundation, nothing else will hold. This is why I integrate spiritual alignment, because without purpose, without connection, healing feels empty, and even when symptoms improve. So what's the next step? If this resonates with you, if you're tired of jumping from practitioner to practitioner, protocol to protocol without lasting results, I want to help you. The first step is understanding what's actually in your glass. What's filling it? What's keeping it full? And what needs to be addressed first? I've created a free guide, 5 signs your body is trying to tell you something and what to do. This guide will help you identify where your body is signaling that your glass is getting full before it becomes a crisis. You can download it in the link that I put below. And when you do this, you'll also get access to my email community where I share more about nervous system healing, drainage pathways, the foundations of health, and everything I've learned on this journey. And if you're ready to go deeper, you can explore my Renew programs, the whole ecosystem of programs, everything from foundations to full body, mind, spiritual healing, or book an initial consult where we can muscle test your priorities. What's filling your glass? What's going on? What are your priorities? Not your conscious priorities, although I want to know those too, but subconsciously, what can your body handle? Where does it need to start? Where do we need to go? What do we need to address and work on? And where do we need, again, start? Create a clear path forward. The links to all of these are in the description below. So here's what I want you to remember. If you haven't tried everything, you've probably tried a lot of things, but you probably haven't tried addressing the things that controls whether any of those things will actually work. Your nervous system. You probably haven't addressed the foundations of health that make everything else possible. You probably haven't rewired the subconscious patterns keeping you stuck in survival mode. And you probably haven't reconnected spiritually in a way that gives you access to your own inner wisdom. This isn't about doing more. It's about doing the things in the right order, at the right pace, at the right time, in a way that respects how your body actually heals. And again, that's the Clean Life Method. And I'm here to guide you through it. So thank you so much for being here. I'm Elena. Your body is speaking to you. Let's learn how to listen and have a wonderfully blessed day. Love you and see you in the next video.